It's been a while since I've gotten back into the woods for a significant amount of time. It's been about 2 years since we thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail. The desire to get back out to the road less traveled has finally come to an end. This time we're out in the woods of northern Utah on the Uinta Highline Trail. By the way, I apologize. I couldn't get Morgan Freeman to narrate this video, so here I am, narrating it myself. If you've seen the previous Appalachian Trail hike video, you'll know that I am hiking this trail with little Marcus. Since we finished the AT, he moved out to Utah where he lives in Salt Lake City. We left his place in Salt Lake where it was like 100 degrees. We took the long way to go out there, going up into Wyoming and eventually seeing Sheep Creek. Up in the mountains, it was much cooler. During the nights, it would get down into the 40s, which we were probably not really prepared for, but we survived anyway. Although we were at the far eastern trailhead, we didn't start there. We were unsure of how hard the hike would be and how long it may take us, and because of those unknowns, we decided to drive just before the Leedy Peak area and camp there for the night in hopes to get acclimated to the elevation and take off the next day for the 80 to 90 mile hike through Ashley National Forest. And if you're wondering, no, we didn't get acclimated to the elevation. It was a struggle the entire time. Dude, that thing is big. Dude, I'm not moving.
One of these enough to just come running and blast.
Yeah, I don't want that. One thing that really stood out to me in this hike was that every mountain pass that we went over, it opened up almost a whole new world. You could see for miles, you could see where you're going, you could see where you've been, you could see what kind of lakes you're going to come up to, all sorts of stuff. But we really didn't know what was going to be on the other side of the pass, but regardless, we looked forward to getting to the top to see what it was all about. For some reason on this hike, neither of us listened to music or podcasts or anything like that, like we did on the Appalachian Trail. Neither of us seemed to mind it at all. It was just nice to have some quiet while only listening to the wind and the animals once in a while. It seems very cliche, but honestly it's true. It was weird just to have minimal noise and on occasion running into a few people. It was very much a hike of solitude.
5 years maybe.
Oh wow.
I look for 3 years.
Before we started the trail, we were worried about the water situation and what the water might be like out there because it had been so dry in Salt Lake City. But wow, were we wrong. There was so much water out there. There was runoff from the mountain passes. There was still some snow patches up on the mountains, so we had plenty of water. So there was no need to worry about that. I don't mean to make this about the Appalachian Trail by any means, but after you do something for that long, it kinda becomes a part of you and who you are as a person. And I really have to blame the Appalachian Trail for all of that and all of this. I think about it every single day. Being out there was easily the best time of my life, although I didn't realize it at the time, and that's kinda hard for me to understand now. Why didn't I realize that then? What I'm getting at is now I am chasing that high, the same high I got when we took our first steps on the Appalachian Trail, in hopes to create more of those enjoyable times. But this time at least enjoy it while I'm out there. Even then, it's hard to realize that what you're doing is enjoyable when you are mentally and physically in pain. That's why long distance hiking is one of the best kinds of type 2 fun you can have. Type 2 fun meaning it sucks while you're doing it, but after some time passes, you realize that it wasn't that bad and that it was actually really fun. In my case, extremely fun. Now the Highline Trail doesn't go up to Utah's high point, which is King's Peak, but once we got to the top of the mountain pass, we debated with ourselves whether or not it's worth it to go to the top. In the end, we ended up going up anyway because I don't know when the next time is that I'll be back here. The trail was a bit hard to navigate sometimes. It was marked by rock cairns, but the problem was that all the other trails that intersected the Highline Trail were also marked by rock cairns. So the use of the app All Trails was definitely a lifesaver while we were out there, and I would argue that you need to have it while you're out there. The camping situation was a little out of the ordinary for us. There was no real designated campsites like there was on the Appalachian Trail, so sometimes we found ourselves in less than optimal places to camp, like this place here. It was in the middle of a very open valley, but we found these trees to kind of shelter us. Going back to talk about the Appalachian Trail, I really like doing these hikes because I feel it scratches an itch. Like when we did all those section hikes before we actually hiked the entire Appalachian Trail. I enjoyed doing that every single year and it gave me something to look forward to. And in the end, it was somewhat training us to do the entire Appalachian Trail. But now I know the feeling of what it's like to be on the Appalachian Trail for 5 months. And it's really hard to get on a trail and compare it to that. When we were out there, we were just able to live. And regardless of the hardships we faced every single day, it was very much enjoyable. Quoting one of my favorite movies of all time, Stand By Me, everything was there and around us. We knew exactly who we were and exactly where we were going. By the way, Stand By Me is single-handedly the reason I got into hiking. I mean, there were some other factors at play, but Stand By Me gave me the initial interest in hiking. Long distance hiking, that is. When I look back on doing significant hikes like this and the Appalachian Trail, for some reason, I don't feel happy that we did it. I feel sad that I'm not there anymore, and that I feel like I'm missing out on something. I'm not sure why that is, and that's why I will continually plan new hikes to get back out into the woods, so I can fulfill that desire. Anyway, this camp here is called Dead Horse Lake, just under Dead Horse Pass. This was by far the best campsite we had. Good weather, the lake was amazing, and the views all around were just incredible. When I look back on this hike now, I think about this place most of the time. There wasn't much different with this campsite. We got there, we ate food, and we played our 3 or 4 games of Yahtzee, and then went to bed, but it just had a more peaceful feeling to it than the other campsites we had.
Davy's gone.
Towards the end, I feel that we were both happy to be getting to the destination and getting off trail. I tried new shoes and my feet were blistered really bad, whereas I never had blisters on the Appalachian Trail. Although months later I realized I miss being on that trail. Not as much as the Appalachian Trail, of course. I wish I was there every single day. But that's just the nature of the beast, and you gotta find ways to deal with it. So here I am, planning next year's hike. Oh, what's that thing?
Which one we taking?